Lords of the Fallen, a game made by Sierra Games which have also made other titles such as Alien Rage, Enemy Front, Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, and of course Lords of the Fallen, which is their latest title. Lords of the Fallen is currently on PC, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. This review is currently of what I have played so far and share my thoughts on the game itself. In Lords of the Fallen, you play as a man named Harkin, who committed a crime and left the army and is now hated by the army for what he has done. Your goal is to fight the enemies which are known as the Rogar and their demon lords in order to stop the main lord and stop the demonic army. There are different types of Rogar enemies such as fast-paced enemies that act quick and attack fast, whilst other enemies can be slow and deal a lot of damage. A certain enemy within the game cannot be killed until you take out a golden pot in order to stop his health regeneration, and there are mages also, so the game offers a lot of enemies to fight, which is always good within the game, but it does get repetitive as the enemies don't really provide much of a challenge later on during the game, unlike they do at the start. The combat and some other features of the game can be described as Dark Souls. First, let's talk about the combat within Lords of the Fallen. The combat feels very weighty, and once you start playing it, it will remind you of Dark Souls, but it is unique in its own way. Yes, you do have the ability to backstab, and you have the ability to roll and dodge attacks, which is much easier to do in this game, which does take away some of the challenge. When you attack an enemy within the game, if you're using a two-handed weapon that's built on damage, then you will stagger an enemy, and it will look as if you're doing real damage. And if an enemy hits you, then you will be staggered. Unlike in Dark Souls, where if you get hit, your attack will still follow through. So it adds a new feel to the combat, which is nice, but personally I still prefer Dark Souls combat system, as it's much more of a challenge compared to Lords of the Fallen's combat system. For items and weapons, there is not really a lot to choose from, or at least there does not seem to be. However, I know I am close to finishing due to the number of bosses left I need to finish off. Throughout the game I have been using a weapon I found at the start, which is Big Axe, which still does the most damage, and this for me is very bad because I feel that I don't need to really loot anything at all, because I have the best weapon for my class. And with the game saying the battle of the box, explore every corner to uncover dark secrets, there does not seem to be a purpose to do so for loot. However, there are other reasons to go and fight loot, as you can find more empty potions, which goes towards your health potion, just like the Estus Flask in Dark Souls. To replenish these potions, you go to the red crystals, which are your checkpoints, and restore your potions, but you need to give it time for it to be able to give you all your health potions, and this is how you also level up. So this feature is based like the bonfire within Dark Souls. You get items throughout the game known as runes, which are either small or large, and you can take them to the crafting person in the game and get buffs for your weapons. And as well as that, you can find armor from looting and audio logs, which is also great, so it does have some purpose. But of course it does not match the scale of loot within Dark Souls and items. The game's story is nowhere near as scripted and complicated as Dark Souls, which is good. However, the story is not all that great. In Lords of the Fallen, unlike Dark Souls where you are told to ring two bells and run off in different directions, wondering if you're going the right way, Lords of the Fallen has a straightforward path with character interactions and the Dark Souls combat. But the dialogue text options are not good within the game, and for me, I spent most of my time just blanking out the text and wanting to keep on fighting. If you're looking to pick up this game, it is a good buy, but not at full price. If you want to play something to remind you of Dark Souls and you're a huge Dark Souls fan, then this game is for you. But it just makes you wish you were playing the re-release of Dark Souls 2 when it comes out, or Bloodborne, or either Dark Souls / Demon Souls on the previous game console generations. This is my game review on what I have played so far for Lords of the Fallen. Thank you for listening.